everyone, this is Janelle Ocloo of Lojo Immigration. Okay, before I go any further, I just want to remind you to please click to subscribe and look out for more educational videos from Lojo. Okay folks, so today's video is about the new Form I-539. That is the immigration form that's used to extend or change your non-immigrant status. So first of all, let me say this. Please don't confuse it with the adjustment of status form. Okay, this is not for adjustment of status. Adjustment of status is when you're applying for permanent resident status, the green card. That's not what this is, okay? The I-539 is when you're trying to extend or change your non-immigrant status. Say, for example, you came in as a visitor on a tourist visa and you need to extend your stay, or maybe you are switching over from one status to another. Maybe you have been an F2 dependent and now you're gonna be an H4 dependent. Also for those people on dependent visas, the H4 or the L2 or the F2 dependent visa, those are spouses of people who are in various visa categories. When you're extending, you extend using the I-539, okay? So that is the immigration form that we're talking about. Okay, some major changes, all right? The big change is that biometrics are now required to extend your status or change it using the I-539. Okay, that's a pretty significant change. Under the new administration, this is part of their policy for increased national security, and so people who are trying to extend their status in the United States are going to have to undergo fingerprinting and background checks. Okay, so what's that going to mean for you? Okay, so that means that when you file your I-539, in addition to the filing fee, you also have to include a biometrics fee. Okay, you have to include a biometrics fee, and after immigration gets your application, they are going to schedule you for biometrics at the application support center. So you have to go in, have your fingerprints taken, biometric scan of your face, they take your signature, that sort of thing. Okay, so now, as far as fees, all right, if you are a sole person, only you are filing, then it's the filing fee, which is the $370 plus $85 for the biometrics fee, okay, for just you, if you're filing alone. Now, if you happen to be a family, okay, so say a spouse and children, or two spouses or something like that, then you file the one application fee, the $370, which actually does cover the unit, the family unit, but then each person has to pay a biometrics fee, including the children. Okay, so say you're the spouse scenario where maybe the primary applicant has an H1B in the family. Okay, primary breadwinner has an H1B. Okay, the spouse has an H4. The children have H4. So you do the application for the spouse, and then each person, the spouse and each of the children, has to pay the $85 biometrics fee. Another thing that is changing is what's called the I-539A. Okay, so the person filing the 539 and then the additional family members have to fill out the 539A. Okay, so usually that's like the kids. So the kids have to each child fill out a 539A form. Some of you may be wondering, hey, what if we have little kids? All right, obviously if you have little kids, you fill out the forms for the little kids. If your children are under the age of 14, then certainly the parent can sign on the child's behalf, but all children still need to have the form. So even if you're a family with a little baby or a toddler, the little baby toddler has to have a 539A, but as long as you're under age 14, the parent can sign on their behalf. All right, now quick note about deadlines and timelines. This change is happening mid-March, which is kind of, for us immigration lawyers, we're in the middle of H-1B cap season. We're preparing H-1Bs. If the 539 gets to immigration by March 21st, 2019, then you're using the old version of the form, okay? Old version of the form. Anything that arrives at immigration, so I'm not talking about postmark deadlines, actually arriving at immigration. Anything that arrives at immigration on March 22nd, 2019 or thereafter has to be the new version of the form. The new version of the form is the one that has a February 4th, 2019 edition date. Okay, so meaning after March 22nd, 2019, they are no longer accepting the old version of the form. The old version is the one that didn't require biometrics and, it didn't have the 539A. You have to have the new version of the form starting from March 22nd, 2019 onwards. Okay? All right. Well, I hope this information has been helpful to you. Some of you may have questions. If you have questions about your specific case, I encourage you to contact